The Royal Australian Navy's Canberra-class landing helicopter dock HMAS Adelaide took part in the Keris Woomera exercise in Situbondo, East Java in November. This is the largest joint exercise between the Australian Defence Forces and the Indonesian Armed Forces in recent history. The event highlighted the ongoing cooperation between Australia and Indonesia, which was strengthened by the recent signing of Defence Cooperation Agreement. This was also the first bilateral amphibious exercise between the two nations and part of the Indo-Pacific Endeavour 2024. The HMAS Adelaide is one of the largest ships ever constructed for the Royal Australian Navy. And what makes it even more exciting is that we had the opportunity to explore the ship.
Good morning, we are currently in Banyuwangi City, East Java. It is 5:50 a.m. local time and we are about to go to Bandungan Beach in Situbondo Regency, East Java. From there we will depart for HMAS Adelaide. So as you can see behind me, all journalists from several medias are preparing to go to Bandungan Beach, and we got a chance to do a HMAS Adelaide tour. So the trip to Bandungan Beach is about 1 hour 30 minutes. All packed, camera is on, we will depart by bus. So yeah, hope our trip goes well.
However, before we left, there were several preparations that we had to make. This included wrapping our camera gear in waterproof covers and bringing enough equipment. Australia has very strict policy for civilians to access its warships. This is to maintain safety and security while on board the vessel.
So we are on the bus and I'm so excited because it is my first time to conduct a warship tour. And also, it's a rare opportunity for us as a civilian to conduct a HMAS Adelaide tour. Australian Defence Force have conducted a briefing to us all journalists and also public relations from Australian Embassy in Indonesia, what do's and don't on the board.
The group arrived at Bandungan Beach in Situbondo Regency. Before boarding, all passengers received safety instructions from the personnel on the use of life jackets. They also explained about dealing with emergencies while on a small boat.
So we are at Bandungan Beach in Situbondo Regency, East Java. We have to put on our shoes to go to the HMAS Adelaide. As you can see behind me, that is the HMAS Adelaide is. And right behind me, this is the lighter amphibious resupply cargo that the two ships that will depart us from the beach inside the HMAS Adelaide.
The trip from Bandungan waterfront to HMAS Adelaide took around 15 minutes using the lighter amphibious resupply cargo, or LARC, which is known as an ideal all-terrain vehicle. Its design allows the vehicle to travel both on water and land. The LARC will enter the heavy vehicle deck of the HMAS Adelaide and carry passengers into the ship. This landing craft, or ship-to-shore connectors, is the main way to transport vehicle logistics and people ashore. Let's take a look back. The naval ship was built by BAE Systems Australia and Navantia. It went at an official ceremony at the Fleet Base East in Sydney on November 28, 2014. In March 2015, HMAS Adelaide was officially designated as the flagship of the Royal Australian Navy. The vessel provides the Australian Defence Force with one of the world's most capable and sophisticated land-sea amphibious deployment systems. Moreover, it can embark, transport and deploy the personnel along with their equipment and aviation units while also supporting humanitarian missions. This 27,000-ton ship has a flight deck of 20.5 meters high, an overall length of 230.82 meters, a maximum speed of 20 knots and a range of 9,000 nanometers. The ship features 4 main decks, namely for heavy vehicles, accommodations, hangar and light vehicles, as well as a flight deck. In addition, HMAS Adelaide has 11 floors and is divided into 112 modules, which are built and fitted out as discrete units and consolidated together to form the complete vessel. What's even more impressive is that the vessel can carry up to 110 military vehicles, 12 helicopters, 156,000 liters of water daily, and provision of up to 6,000 meals per day.
So we are on the board after 15 minutes of work from the small ship into the HMAS Adelaide. So we got lunch. I have chicken and rice, and we got two, we call it badges from the troops. This is for Indo-Pacific and the Roar, and this is also for the HMAS Adelaide. This is the motto of the ship, united for the common good. So yeah, that's the current situation over here, and all the journalists and also the troops are having a lunch.
Our exploration continued. The visitors had the opportunity to see one of the most interesting parts of the ship, which is the bridge. This is the primary command and control center, where the vessel is navigated, maneuvered, and controlled. It is also the ship's main safety center.
So we are currently at the bridge of HMAS Adelaide. So this is the current situation where the troops are conducting such as operation to navigate the ship itself, and this is in the 5th floor of the HMAS Adelaide.
The ship's bridge also houses communications equipment that is vital for the naval's operations. From this part of the ship, the captain and crew can monitor the engineering department and the scientific team. It also ensures safety on board and facilitates log keeping, where the officers record the ship's position, time, and significant scientific events.
Keep the ship safe and the people inside it safe. And we have an officer of the watch who is in charge of the bridge to keep the ship safe. And that officer of the watch may be anywhere from 22 to 25 years old, and they have an amazing amount of responsibility and accountability to keep the ship safe, especially in complex, busy waterways.
The tour continued to the flight deck, which can accommodate 4 to 6 helicopters. The deck also has several aircraft elevators to accommodate medium-sized to larger helicopters. Meanwhile, the hangar and light vehicles deck can accommodate up to 18 medium-sized helicopters.
So the coordination of the dock and the deck cycle is actually quite complex, because that takes into account the ephemerals, so the wind, the sea, the swell, and here of Indonesia, the tidal current and the tidal stream also is a factor about where the ship sits. So we want to optimize those wind, especially wind for the helicopters, and also the swell and the sea and the current, mainly for the dock. And hopefully, if we get it right, and the Officer Watch gets it right, we can do all of it.
HMAS Adelaide can be deployed as a humanitarian ship in disaster and crisis evacuation. Equipped with 2 surgical operating rooms with surgeon and as many as 50 medical personnel that took part in the voyage, they consist of general, orthopedic, vascular, radiology, anesthesia surgeons, psychotherapists, mental health nurses, and psychologists. To completing its function as humanitarian ship, the vessel has blood transfusion facilities and laboratory services for testing, such as infectious diseases or outbreaks like malaria.
I'll give an example. In 2019, 2020, Australia had some bad bushfires, and so this ship was deployed to the areas in Australia where there was major bushfires, and so the light vehicle deck had hundreds of stretchers there to be able to, have people be able to sleep there, and then our things like food and other basic hygiene services and that. These ships have a tremendous capacity.